Good morning once again from Mission Control Houston. We really hope that you enjoyed those photos that just came down from the crew who's asleep aboard the Orion spacecraft. We are at a total mission elapsed time of 5 days, 14 hours, 9 minutes and counting of the Artemis 2 mission, and we're going to be continuing our live continuous coverage here. With me, I have Franklin. You are the Artemis 3 Vehicle Integration Manager.
That's correct.
Thank you so much for being here. Tell us a little bit about your role and what you're doing.
So as a vehicle manager, what I do is I kind of see myself as like the Artemis 3 Orion's mother. I followed it all the way from cradle to grave. I watch it being assembled. I watch making sure the parts come together. And essentially I watch it just like a mom would do, right? You know, you take your kid to school, you make sure they all have lunch, and make sure you take them to the doctor's office, and any issues come arise, we went ahead and just we have to address it, get it through, and we get it out the door, and we send it over to the ground operations, the exploration ground systems. They will put it together on top of the rocket. I follow through the mission. I work with the FOD, the flight operating director. I work with the SLS program, the EGS program, and I make sure that we have a successful mission, launch and mission.
Excellent. And so it's like watching your child be born, take their first steps,
100%.
and then they're going off to college almost.
Yeah, it's going to be a sad day well, it's a happy day when we launch.
Exciting, but bittersweet.
Exciting. When he comes back, then it's, everything is on you, right? You're watching the mission, your spacecraft, you got your 4 crew members on board. You want, make sure that you're hoping that, and we know the vehicle's doing good, and we're going to come home safely, and then it's going to be a bittersweet to see that mission is going to be over soon. And again, see all those 4 crew members come out, and it's going to be fantastic.
Artemis 2 is coming to an end, but we are now on the heels of Artemis 3. So you are playing quite a significant role in the mission that's coming up. So tell us what we're going to expect for future Artemis missions.
So for Artemis 3, the crew module right now is in Florida, in the ONC building. It's going through all the testings. The service module is essentially done. So we'll be mailing it pretty soon this summer. Our goal is to roll out by the end of the year or early next year. Then we're going to be able to, put on top of a rocket, SLS rocket, and we should be able to launch sometime in 2027. So that's our goal. So there's the Orion spacecraft.
So just for our viewers, let's talk about what the crew module is and the service module.
So the crew module is this conical shape, very much similar to the Apollo capsule that you recognize. Anything below that, anything that's white right here, including the solar array wings, that will be the service module.
Okay, so I'm going to put Orion this way up right now, and then for our viewers, it's this piece of the vehicle, right?
This will be the service module from this part.
This point
onwards. Crew module adapter CMA ring all the way down to the ESM, the service module. This is service module.
Service module,
this only part
crew
is
module.
Crew module.
Okay,
yes.
Excellent.
And crew module is where the astronauts are obviously in right now.
So thank you for doing that little show and tell with us. Tell us a little bit about some of the objectives for Artemis 3.
So the objective for Artemis 3 right now, as Administrator had laid out, is to bite down the risk for the upcoming mission, for the moon landing mission for Artemis 4. Our objective is to test out how do we integrate and dock with our landers, both the Blue Origin lander as well as the Starship from SpaceX.
Right.
We're going to go ahead and practice it. We have never done this yet. So Artemis 2, as you have shown, we did the RPOD, we did a proximity rendezvous, but we didn't actually do a docking. So our goal in Artemis 3 is to actually dock with each of the vehicles.
Got it.
Okay. And then try to go inside so that we essentially bite down the risk of docking with another spacecraft that we have never done before.
Right.
And able to ingress inside and experience it, the environment.
If I'm going to translate this to more generally, what we're going to do is for Artemis 3, we will fly in high Earth orbit.
Low Earth orbit.
Low Earth orbit. This is the docking
That's correct.
adapter
docking,
here.
Yep, docking module.
And so the docking module will dock to another spacecraft.
That's correct.
Right, the human landing system. They will dock. They will practice docking and undocking, just like we did for Artemis 2 with the proximity operations.
Except we don't actually dock.
Except we didn't dock. So this time we'll actually dock. And then when you said they will ingress. They will enter the human landing system from Orion. Is that right?
So that is going to be the goal. We are trying to find out. Our goal right now is to try to go inside because then that really demonstrate that we had the ecosystem on the other vehicle as well.
Right.
That's still being discussed right now.
Okay, so we want to make sure, as we discuss that, if we do end up going inside the human landing system, then that will also help test out the environmental control and life support systems.
That is correct.
Got it. Okay, that's really great to know. So then, are there any other key objectives that you may have missed or anything else that we should know about Artemis 3?
I mean, just in general, how the crew, like Artemis 2, we got 4 crew done the fantastic job right now. They're on the way back.
Right.
And I think it's going to be the second time we fly the crew again on a crew vehicle. We just want to make sure that the system that we have built, that we have experienced on Artemis 2, do we have the same exact experience with Artemis 3? This way we get consistency so we can get a trend, right? Just as we get more experience with the spacecraft, then we get more comfortable with the spacecraft, and we are able to relax some of our requirements and stuff like that so that we are more comfortable. We expand our performance, envelopes.
So I'm summarizing here. The more data we get, the more we learn, the more we can adjust and improve or
you got it. That's
shorten
exactly
processes where possible.
Shorten processes and understanding how the vehicle behaves, so give us more confidence on the spacecraft.
Okay.
If we ever see something that's not as expected, with the experience that we have, it gives us more confidence on the spacecraft performance.
True. Yeah. Okay. This is so exciting. Tell me how you're feeling now that you're seeing your baby fly and almost, we have a clock up here, splashdown 3 days, 11 hours, 2 minutes.
Well, it's not really my baby, right? Because I was a vehicle manager for Artemis 2 for a little bit, and then Bernal Rodriguez came in and she took over. So she's doing a fantastic job. And she's up there upstairs right now doing the MER. So I'm watching afar in a way, and I'm watching her back up. I'm cheering her on. So I still feel good, but I was part of the Artemis too. I think it's great that I see. Okay, like I said, like this spacecraft with Reed, Christina, Victor, and Jeremy in the spacecraft and doing what they were able to do is just fantastic. It really brings tears to my eyes just to see them out there. They're going to be coming home Friday. We're going to learn so much from them, right? It's not just about the spacecraft alone that we are able to monitor. It's really about them living in the spacecraft for the 10 days. And then what do they see? What do they experience? How do they feel? That's really what we need to learn from. Because I was an Artemis 1 vehicle manager that we flew around the moon for 26 days, but nobody was down there. Right. So we learned about a spacecraft, but this time we had the 4 crew members telling us how the vehicle really behaves, how it works. And if that experience is going to really give us to improve on Artemis 3 so that Artemis 3 crew members is able to have a better experience again, and then their experience going to build on that for Artemis 4 and go on.
That human factor that gets introduced when crew flies is so fascinating because you can learn so much more. Just like yesterday with the flyby, the descriptions coming from the crew, not only was I sobbing for most of that flyby, I was also just enjoying seeing them be geologists for the team on the ground. So similarly, we're going to get a lot of information back about Orion. I'm incredibly excited for what you're going to learn and to see what sort of improvements or adjustments happen to Artemis 3.
100%. I really think that with the experience that the crew is able to come back, and we're sure that we'll get a debrief from them. What went well, what didn't go as well, what should be improved, and we'll definitely try to we'll assess the situation, we'll assess their recommendations, and we'll look into what we can do to improve on Artemis 3 so that the next crew would have a better experience and able to operate the vehicle better.
Well, Frank, I really appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule to join us today. And once again, we are here in Artemis Mission Control, telling you all about the Orion spacecraft, and we'll continue to follow along with our live 24/7 coverage of the Artemis 2 mission.